Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. So nice to see all of you. So we'll do a quick Jai Radha Madhav Kirtan and start today's special session. So only one Mridanga will play. Only one Karta, that is mine. Jai Radha Madhava Pancha ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्योत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। Everyone together, Mangalasharam. Om Ajnanatirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuromilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manavesham Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Vadamayam Jagati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Rudakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagananandamitam Tam Srivam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Parijanasritam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Saranadalita Shri Vishakamapitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna
पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्यति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशकारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णमेव प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरविषे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपीशा गोपिकान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
मूलं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं श्रीगुरुं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. So once in a month I get an opportunity to come here and see all the divine faces effulgent. I hope all of you are doing well, your health is good, and you are attending your Bhakti Vriksha sessions regularly, being in touch with your mentors. Sunday feast is a time when we all devotees come together and just immerse ourselves in Krishna consciousness. Krishna Katha, Krishna Kirtan, Krishna Puja, Krishna Prasad. Krishna Katha, Kirtan, Puja, less number of people. Krishna Prasad, if I always say, leave some place for Prasad people. From behind, people should get some place to sit. In the year 1969, in London, we have a temple called Radha Landaneshwar. Srila Prabhupada gave unique names to the temple. So there he named Krishna Landaneshwar. And in Paris, he gave the name Pariseshwar. So Radha Landaneshwar, Radha Pariseshwar. He is Ishwar of the entire universe. So what to talk about London and Paris and other places? So this was 1969, London, in the temple. It was the evening program that was there in Srila Prabhupada. He did wonderful kirtan. Srila Prabhupada's disciples, they described that those kirtans were out of the world. When they would sit in that kirtan, it would be like entering some spiritual bubble, entering some different world altogether. There's some videos available even now, you can see. And Prabhupada is doing kirtan, there's a different ecstasy in people. Loudly chanting, the bodies are moving and kartals are getting played so wonderfully. So after the kirtan, Prabhupada gave a class. And after the class ended, he asked Yamuna Mataji, one of the very senior disciples of Prabhupada, that you start Hare Krishna Kirtan. That's the final Kirtan, like we also have here. Kirtan, Katha, Kirtan. And the final Kirtan was going on, she was playing harmonium and she was singing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And suddenly, on the mic, Srila Prabhupada loudly started chanting, Narada Muni Bhajaye Vina Radhika Ramana Name Narada Muni Bhajaye Vina Radhika Ramana Name. Now here Yamuna Mata is not understanding, should I continue chanting Hare Krishna or what I was supposed to do? So Prabhupada looked at her and gave an indication, you continue. So she is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Prabhupada is chanting Narada Muni Bhajaye Vina. And after some time, Prabhupada stopped that and he also started singing Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And that it is described, the kirtan that was there was one such ecstatic kirtan where devotees were jumping and dancing. Looks like it was in an auditorium or something. And devotees were running around the periphery of auditorium also during the kirtan. Devotees on the stage, they also jumped down in the audience, they were also running around in the queue. So next day morning, Jamuna Mataji and few other devotees, they went to Prabhupada and they asked, during Hare Krishna Mahamantra Kirtan, how come you were singing, or why were you singing Narad Muni prayers? And at that time, Srila Prabhupada said, you didn't see? Narad Muni had come in the hall, you didn't see? And the devotees were like, no, we didn't see. He was there. To invite him, to welcome him, I was singing this bhajan. Narad Muni bhajaye veena radhika ramanana. Can you imagine our Srila Prabhupada? He can invoke anyone and everyone. In the same place in London, Srila Prabhupada, the devotee made a nice Vyasasana for him, very big Vyasasana. And Prabhupada was very touched. In the initial days this was. And then Prabhupada told that similar Vyasasana, make two smaller Vyasasanas. Now he asked for what? And Prabhupada said, every evening, Narad Muni and Brahma, they come to attend the evening Arati in the temple. So please arrange. So our Acharya is not ordinary. Not ordinary. So Prabhupada many times spoke about Narad Muni. So following in his footsteps, we thought today we'll speak about Narad Muni. So today we'll try to understand how a sadhaka became a siddha. How a devotee who was practicing became a perfected devotee. So today we're going to see 3 lives of Narada Muni. Ready everyone? Let's begin. The first life of Srila Narada Muni. He was a Gandharva in the celestial planets. And his name was Upavarhana. What was his name? And Upavarhana was a Gandharva. Gandharvas are known for the singing. So when they sing, it's very, very melodious. They're known for the singing. And he was very, very beautiful, very handsome in his looks. And naturally, handsome boy is there, so naturally around beautiful girls will be there. So he used to be there, and so many lusty females would be surrounding him. And he would have nice time with them. So once Prajapatis, Devatas, they invited for a yajna, a Sankirtan yajna. Sankirtan means glorifying Lord Shri Krishna. There is no other Sankirtan apart from this. So he was invited for a Sankirtan. And guess what? How Narad Muni came? Narad Muni came into that assembly with the group of females surrounding him. He was intoxicated. They were intoxicated, not by wine or something, by lust. And he started singing. Now when he started singing, it was an invitation for Sankirtan, Harinam Sankirtan. There was no Harinam in that. When he started singing, he started glorifying various Devi Devatas. And the hosts, the other Devi Devatas hosted, they became really angry. They said, we invited you here to glorify Hari. And what are you doing? And at that time, those Prajapatis, they cursed Narada Muni, your behavior is like a Shudra. You take birth as a Shudra without any beauty. And now, in a heavenly planet, there is nothing but as birth and death. Heavenly planet's appearance and disappearance. It's like you disappear, you die here and you appear there. When your punya is over, you disappear from there, you take birth in this planet. So he disappeared from there and he came down and he took birth in a family. The first and foremost thing that we need to understand here is, look at this point. Firstly, he committed 2 offenses. What are the 2 offenses? First one was, he was intoxicated with lust with other people who were there around. Lusty women. And second, instead of Hari Sankirtan, Harinam Sankirtan, he started doing Sankirtan. He started singing glories of some demigods, some devatas. And the other devatas cursed. That's a very important thing to note, that demigods are not interested to hear their own glorification. We might be interested to hear our glorification, but demigods are not interested to hear their own glorification. Many times, people have this problem. To worship only Krishna, it becomes very problem. They're like, No, no, Prabhuji, if I worship only Krishna, other Devi Devtas, they will curse me. No, they will curse you if you worship only them. This is described very beautifully in Srimad Bhagavatam. Taror eva moola nisechanena tripyanti tatskanda bhujopashakana. The entire tree is compared to all the celestial beings. Like the twigs and flowers and fruits and leaves and everything are compared to different Devi Devtas. And the root of the tree is compared to Krishna. So when we want to satisfy the entire tree, we don't take a bucket of water and start sprinkling on every leaf and wiping it or something like that. What do? We water it to the root. And now when you water it to the root, are you tensed? Is the water reaching to this branch and that leaf and that flower? No, we are carefree. We water the tree, we water the root, and we are carefree. Rest assured that the water is reaching all the leaves and twigs and flowers and fruits and everything. The tree is satisfied. Therefore, this point is very important to note that when glorification of Lord is done, naturally everyone in the entire universe is satisfied. And somehow Narada Muni, Upavarhana, the Gandharva, he didn't realize and he got this curse. And when he was cursed, he took birth, the second life. He took birth as a Shudra. He took birth in the family of a maid servant. And this maid servant, she was working in a school, a Brahmana school. That's a very nice thing to note, that when it comes to these dasis, it's very difficult to understand also that if the begetting child, who is the father of that child? That is the situation of a dasi. I can imagine such a low birth this boy got. Upavarhana, the next life, such a low birth he got. Does not know who the father is. But there was a very, very auspicious situation because they were there in a nice place. They were in a Brahmana school. And it's very nice to note that in Chaturmas, the 4 months in which Karthik is the last month, basically rainy season, it starts from rainy season. So at that time, sannyasis don't travel. They remain at one place and do their bhajan. Other times they keep traveling, they don't stay at one place, they keep traveling to different places. So there were Bhakti Vedantas, great pure devotees, they came to that place to take shelter in Chaturmas. Now just imagine. Now who is going to serve them? The maid servant is going to serve. The maid servant has got only one son, Narada boy. And this boy is going to assist his mother to serve the pure devotees of the Lord who have come to that place. बताइए अभी इससे ज़्यादा और fortune क्या चाहिए? But Narada Muni also had wonderful qualities. First quality that is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam is he was self-controlled. He was fully self-controlled. He was just 5 years old, but he was self-controlled. Second that is mentioned is he was not attached to play. No attachment to sports. Not that going around and playing with kids. Same thing we see in Prahlad Maharaj. No attachment to play. I don't know how much we played in our childhood. I used to get a lot of beating in my childhood. Morning I'll have breakfast, especially during summer vacation. Going out in the evening only will come back. पक्का बताओ अभी तो पिटाई होने वाली है अच्छी से. But look at these great personalities like Narada Muni, Prahlad and others. Oh, no attachment to play. He was not naughty. And it is also described that he will not speak more than required. He will speak only how much ever required. These were the qualities, great qualities of Narada boy, small boy. See, great spiritualists, they understand time was come alive. Very short. Very short. अभी कुछ छोटे टाइम में if you have time to do time pass, oh, फिर मानना पड़ेगा. Then you have to really appreciate that person who is doing time pass. Why? Because actually life is very short. And in that we take out time to do time pass, that's a very big thing. At least when it comes to devotees who are aspiring, I want to attain Krishna this very life, they should be very clear. No question of wasting time watching discourse or movies or news or gossip, no question. बताइए अभी बाहर जो करते हैं, same thing you come in the devotee association start doing that. Isn't that a useless waste of time? Outside people to gossip. In devotee association also we come and keep gossiping. Such a stupid thing. Therefore, every single devotee sitting here, including myself, we have to remind ourselves that I am a devotee. And what am I expected to do? One word. Avyartha kalatvam. What is that? Avyartha kalatvam. Yes. Avyartha kalatvam. Avyartha means not wasting. What? Kala, time. There is a question of wasting time. And you will see those devotees who are very serious in bhakti, they will not waste even a minute. I know some devotees, when they get stuck in the traffic, they immediately remove something from the pocket and keep reading. And you know what is that? A shloka. And they memorize shloka. Now they are not frustrated with the red light. They are happy, okay, no problem, I'll read. There are some devotees who keep singing bhajans when they start from their house or till the office. Not wasting a single moment. This is the quality of a great devotee. Or a devotee who is aspiring to be a great devotee. Avyartha kalatvam. And here we see that in Narada. No wasting of time. No wasting of time at all. And we see in Prabhupada's life also, no question of wasting time. Devotees say, the Prabhupada disciples who were there around Srila Prabhupada, that either he would speak Krishna Katha, or he would talk to some guests who have come, or he would translate the books, or he would be recording kirtans or doing kirtans. And if he is not doing anything, his hand will be in the bead bag and his lips will be moving. And he will be chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So he is called as Acharya. Acharya means through Achar he is doing prachar. He is setting an example for all of us that what we are supposed to do. And many of the times we are completely convinced only prachar, no achar. Many times it happens that we instruct others, but we ourselves not follow. Only prachar, no achar. Therefore, no wasting of time is what we learn from a small 5-year-old boy, the Narada boy. So when the Bhakti Vedantas came, the mother was serving, and this Narada boy was also serving very nicely. Whatever the Bhakti Vedantas needed, he was doing that. And one day, when prasad was served, those Bhakti Vedantas, they had prasad. At that time, Narada, he begged permission from Bhakti Vedantas. Can I have your remnants that is left in the plate? And the Bhakti Vedantas gave him permission. Because they were very pleased with Narada boy's service. They said, okay, you can have. And it is described that Narada Muni ate those remnants, and those remnants were life transforming. When you offer it to the Lord, it is called as Mahaprasad. But when a devotee accepts, when a great devotee accepts, that remnant is called as Mahaprasad. Mahaprasad. So it's a very, very nice thing to know that these remnants are very, very powerful. There's a beautiful shloka in Chaitanya Charitamrita. All the devotees were very eager to advance in bhakti for them. There are 3 Mahashakti that is given, Mahabal that is given in Shastra. Please repeat. Bhakta pada dhuliyara bhakta pada jal. Bhakta bhukta avashesha dini mahabal. So 3 points. First, Bhakta pada dhuli, the dust of the lotus feet of a devotee. Bhakta pada dhuli. His Grace Harikshadar who was sharing that when he was there in the temple, new devotee serving. So that time he and his mentors, after the Sunday feast class, they'll broom the entire place and they'll collect all the dust at one place. And he saw his mentor doing. His mentor put his hand into that dust and roll in that dust. And then Prabhuji asked that, oh, what are you doing? And then Prabhuji spoke about this shloka. Bhakta pada dhuli, very, very powerful. Therefore, when these great souls come, Normally, if we touch their slippers and then we apply the dust on the head. Outside people will feel पागल तो नहीं है ये लोग चप्पल हाथ लगाते हैं डस्ट में रोल रोल करते हैं पागल तो नहीं है अरे पागल हम नहीं पागल तो आप है you don't know the easy way to advance in spiritual life we know it so first is bhakta pada dhuli second is bhakta pada jal that water which has washed the feet of a devotee that's called as charanamrit that is also very very powerful. And third one is Bhakta Bhukta Avashesha. The remnants that is there in the plate. Very, very powerful. These remnants, it is described that when we accept the remnants of a great devotee, we imbibe their qualities, great qualities. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is one devotee whose name is Kalidas. Now Kalidas, what he would do is, he would go to every house in that place, Navadvip Dham, and there he would wait outside the house. And it was there in his mind that I have to have Uchist of every devotee who was there in this place. And as soon as the devotees would get their evidence, put it down, he would immediately pick up anything. But there was one devotee family. They were very careful. They got to know that this person is accepting the reverence. They were very careful that not to leave any remnants. But then Kalidas was very, very clever. You know what he did? He got ripened yellow, juicy mangoes and he gave it to them. This for you. And those devotees accepted, they offered it to the Lord, they accepted Mahaprasad. And then the peel that was there, they ate. And then the seed that was there, they nicely sucked that and they threw it out. And Kalidas. Now I got it. And you know what? What was the benefit that Kalidas got? He became so pure, so very pure, that in Jagannath Puri, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very strict. He would not allow anyone to touch the water that has washed his feet. In fact, once during Gundicha Marjan, this happens one day before Jagannath Rath Yatra, where there is a temple called Gundicha that is cleaned very nicely. So one devotee during that time, he poured water on the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he drank that water. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shouted at him and he told Swarup Damodar, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's secretary, look at your Bengali devotees, what he is doing. Remove that from here. And Swarup Damodar immediately picked the devotee and out. Now same Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he was washing his feet, water was put on the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu washing. And Kalidas comes in that place and he takes the water and he drinks the water. Now all the devotees around are awestruck, Abhi kya hoga? Because all of them had seen the previous episode with that other devotee. They're all waiting. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not saying anything. Again he took second time water he drank. And everyone is looking at Kalidas. What is going to happen next? And third time he drank. Everybody is looking what will happen next. And finally, fourth time when he was taking, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, enough. Enough. Can you imagine when a devotee becomes a servant of the servant of the servant? The Supreme Lord, he blesses that devotee. And Kalidas, he was not distinguishing who is who. He was just seeing himself as servant of everyone. And look at what happened. He got the mercy of Supreme Personality of Godhead, who appeared in the age of Kali as Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In every Kali Yuga, there is a golden incarnation that appears. But only in this Kali Yuga, there is a golden incarnation, but this golden incarnation is Lord Krishna himself. He is an avatari, not avatar. Only in this Kali Yuga this has happened. Guess what? How fortunate we are. Somehow, by mistakenly, we have taken birth in the age of Kali. At the same time when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, same time when Prabhupada appeared. So wonderful, so wonderful. In this way, Narada Muni got the remnants of those Bhakti Vedantas. Now, what happened to Narada Muni after taking the remnants? Bhagavatam says. First, he became purified at heart. Whatever contamination was there in the heart, he got purified. Second, the very nature of a transcendentalist became very, very attractive for him. All these Bhakti Vedantas became very, very attractive for him. He wanted to associate with them more. This is the power of reverence that he had of those great devotees, the pure devotees of the world. And it's very nice to note that when it comes to these three powerful elements of bhakti, what are the three powerful elements? First, Padaduli, Padajal, Gupta Avashesha. Yes, reverence of a devotee. Very, very powerful. This is what happens. Heart gets purified. And secondly, the very nature of devotees becomes very, very attractive. Now we don't want to be devotees. We want to stay with devotees. This is a great benediction. Great benediction. If you want real blessing from someone, this is the blessing that we will ask for. Please bless me so that my heart gets purified. Please bless me so that I always get attracted to the association of devotees. Srila Prabhupada had a unique way of taking prasad. He used to finish his plate. Only salt would remain. And there was one devotee who would accept that with great awe and reverence for a very, very long time. And guess what? That devotee became a very, very great devotee. Prabhupada's reverence. What will happen? But one point that we have to see here is this person was not seeing gulab jamun hota to acha hota hai. या एक बर्गर का पीस रेफरेंस में होता तो अच्छा नहीं क्या होता नमक he was the oh reverence. So this is a very important attitude in accepting all three Bhakta Padaduli, Bhakta Padajal, Bhakta Uchishta. To accept all these three, there is one important move that is needed, that is awe and reverence. With respect, this has to be accepted. Therefore, here we see in the Shastra, so many times, so many devotees have accepted reverence with a lot of respect, with awe and veneration, and they have advanced in bhakti like anything. अभी ऐसा क्वेश्चन आता है कि प्रोजी कहाँ जाए ढूंढने कोई भक्त तो देगा नहीं प्रभु थोड़ा दूध दे दो I want to wash your feet. Prabhu, give me some reverence from your plate, and then Prabhu will say that Prabhu मैं भूखा मुझे खाने दीजिए. Prabhu will give. So it is described all these three are equivalent to accepting the instruction of a devotee and following that instruction. So when we accept the instruction of a devotee and when we follow that instruction, it means we are accepting these three elements, especially Bhakta Padaduli. Because we are taking the position of servant of the servant of the servant. Narada Muni's heart got purified. He got so attracted to all these Bhakti Vedantas who came there. And after that, there began a wonderful Krishna Katha in the house of, or in that place, the Brahmana school. All these pure devotees, every day they would come together and they would have intense Krishna Katha. Krishna Leela, Krishna's form, Krishna's holy name, all this would be glorified in the Krishna Katha. And guess what? That little boy Narada would come there and with their permission he would sit there and hear. All of those pure devotees are discussing and this boy is sitting and hearing. And it is described that just by sitting there and respectfully, attentively hearing the discussion of the Bhakti Vedantas, Narada Muni's taste for hearing Krishna Katha increased. First, he got attracted to the devotees. Now his taste for hearing Krishna Katha increased. Now see if I tell you that, okay, now it's 11:45. So we'll continue the class for the next 3 hours. Slowly, devotees will get up. Prabhuji, washroom. Or we'll remove the mobile. 1 minute, I'll come. First the husband will leave, kids, then the wife. And maybe finally 1 or 2 devotees will stay because they have to wind up this place. What to do? We don't have taste. What to do? We don't have taste. 1 घंटा जो होता है class का, it is like somehow we have to sit and somehow be awake. Because now the speaker is here, he can see everyone who is sleeping, who is awake. We cannot escape also. So that day, when we attain the taste for chanting, taste for hearing, oh, that is the day when we'll relish Krishna consciousness. Maza aa jayega एकदम. That happiness which we talk about, devotees will relish that in the association here, hearing Krishna Katha. There's one very beautiful shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, shloka 16, very important. Please repeat. Shushusho Shraddhanasya Vasudeva Katharuchi Syat Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nishevana. So this particular shloka talks about how to get that taste for hearing. How did Narada Muni get the taste for hearing? First, what did he do? Reverence से पहले भी कुछ किया उसने. He served the devotees. First comes service. Second, what he did? Okay, ate the remnants. Okay, what else after that? He heard. How did he hear? Attentively, with respect. He heard attentively. The first thing is service. Shushusho Shraddhanasya Vasudeva Katharachi Syam Mahat Sevaya Vipra. By service. The first thing is by service. Second thing is Shraddhanasya. One should hear attentively when we sit at the class. And the third thing is, after hearing, we have to contemplate on that and imbibe that in our day-to-day life. Then you will see how taste arises in Krishna Katha. This is the 3-point formula which we can have, which we can implement in our day-to-day life to get the taste for Krishna Katha. First is service. Second, hear how? Attentively. Third, contemplate and imbibe that instruction in one's day-to-day life. And Narada did that. Narada did that. Now, many times devotees in ISKCON, they ask this question. Prabhuji, great devotees, great sannyasis, Prabhupada's disciples, Prabhupada himself, we don't have access to them. Service kare to kaise kare? And Shastras say there are 2 types of service. First one is called as Vapu Seva, second is called as Vani Seva. First one is? Second? Vani Seva. Vapu Seva means physically serving, the way Narada Muni served. So now when you physically serve, like you're pressing, just imagine you're massaging the feet of Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada is nicely resting. That is physical service. Or you're cooking for the great devotees who have come. That is physical service. Second is Vani Seva. Vani Seva is like you're hearing the instructions or the pravachan that is given by these great devotees. And it is described, both are same. The devotee who is doing either of the service will get the same merit. Now sometimes devotees ask, Prabhuji, when we do physical service, then we can understand that person is satisfied because we're doing physically. Now when we cook and then give it to the devotee who has come, and we stand there and ask, Prabhuji, kaisa hai ye dish? How is it? मैंने बनाया. Hare Krishna. So at least directly the person is seeing and is blessing us, correct? But now say I'm sitting in a class and I'm hearing. Say now we're sitting in the class and hearing. Or you're hearing Srila Prabhupada's audio or some great Srila Prabhupada's disciples audio or something like that. Now how will they understand that we are hearing attentively? How will this be a seva to them? What do you all say? How will they recognize our seva and bless us? In contemplation, but how will they understand? Huh? Lord Krishna understands. How Krishna understands? He's there in everyone's heart. Always remember in spiritual life, Paramatma connection is what works. Paramatma is there in each and everyone's heart. Now, when say the speaker is speaking, and say a person is sitting in one corner, say there are 1,000 devotees. One day will come and the center will be filled with 1,000 devotees. So at that time we will say, at the corner, and then the person is sitting and hearing, and the speaker is not able to see him, but he is hearing very attentively. Paramatma will inspire the speaker. I'll give you an example. Once what happened is Srila Prabhupada was there in Mumbai. This big Pandal program that was happening. Srila Prabhupada was there on the stage. Thousands of people had assembled in that Pandal. Thousands of people. And don't know what happened. Prabhupada called one of his disciples and he pointed far somewhere and he said, get that person. And that devotee went and he got that person on the stage. And that person, he sat there at the feet of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, sit. And today, that devotee's name is His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Can you imagine? I mean, बताइए Prabhupada को समझा कैसे? That there is some sincere soul sitting behind and then he is hearing or something like that? How did he get to know? This is called as the power of devotional service. If we are sincere, Krishna will reciprocate through the devotee. Therefore, very very important. वाणी सेवा should be done. बापू सेवा मिला तो अच्छा है, नहीं मिला तो ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. लेकिन वाणी सेवा ठीक से होना चाहिए. We should hear our acharyas lectures, our spiritual masters lectures. We should hear when we come to Sunday feast like this. We should hear very attentively. We should sit with notebook and make notes and prove our sincerity to Krishna. Krishna, I am sincere. I am hearing your class. See, I am not sleeping. And these points which I have written, I will try to revise and I will try to contemplate and invite the same. And don't you think Krishna will shower his mercy on such a sincere soul? He will for sure. Therefore, here we understand that how Narada Muni, he got the taste. His taste for hearing Krishna Katha increased and increased. And he was sitting there amongst the Bhakti Vedantas and he was hearing Krishna Katha. And this formula we should never forget, the 3-point formula of increasing the taste in Krishna Katha. First is service. Second, hearing attentively. The third, contemplating on what we have heard and imbibing the same in our day-to-day life. Now, when it comes to Narada Muni, when his taste increased, you know what happened when his taste increased? As he got the taste, Narada Muni himself is saying, Bhagavatam, my attention to hear of the Lord was unflinching. Now, if I ask you, now from last 40 minutes, you all are sitting here and hearing me. If I ask, how many of you went out and came back? No, don't raise your hands. Everyone will get to know. Anyways, I know. Sometimes devotees look up like this and say. Sometimes they look down. Yes. Sometimes they look straight into the eyes of the speaker, but they are thinking something else. Isn't it? Yes or no? Yes. Doesn't matter how amazing, how charismatic the speaker is, but more charismatic is our mind. It attracts us and takes us here and there. Unflinching बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है. Sometimes it so happens that the devotee is in his own world and the speaker cracks a joke, everyone is laughing and then he's like, what did Prabhuji say? Many times this has happened. With me also it happens, by the way. Now when I sit in the class and here, yeah, what to do? Unflinching mood is not there, no? Why that is not there? His taste is not there. Here look at Narada Muni. He served, he heard them attentively, and then he contemplated, he imbibed in his day-to-day life. His taste for hearing increased more and more to such an extent, now it is very unflinching. He'll just sit and hear. Our Srila Prabhupada's hearing was like that. In Vrindavan, Srila Prabhupada was a grahastha at that time. They had gone for a yatra, Vrindavan yatra. And Prabhupada's spiritual master Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was sitting on the Vyasasana and giving class. And someone announced that you have two options. First option is go out to take darshan of various temples in Vrindavan. And second option, sit and hear the class of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And majority of grahastha devotees got up from there and left for darshan. ये तो हमारे ही प्रभु जी बात में सुन. I have seen this in our yatras. We have seen last day devotees are in transcendental mode. Last day attendance of the class will be almost very very less. And if you ask Prabhuji, where did you? Please darshan लेने गए. Class तो सुनते रहते हैं. Class IBC में सुन रहे हैं. But that's not the right attitude. Here, Srila Prabhupada, what he did, he sat in the class. It is described Srila Prabhupada was the only Grihastha and all others were sitting in the class of sannyasis. And Saraswati Thakur is sitting and giving class. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, when he would speak, no one will be able to understand what he would speak. Very high level. But still, Prabhupada would sit and would hear with awe and reverence. Attentively, he would sit and hear with unflinching mood. And on the time of initiation of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when he was introduced, he is Abhay Charan Babu. One of the Gaudiya devotees introduced to Saraswati Thakur, he is Abhay Charan. And at that time, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said, yes, I know him. He has that unflinching mood to hear Krishna Katha. See, spiritual master recognize. So this is a very, very important quality. And here he was sitting and hearing. And then by that hearing, with unflinching mood, you know what happened? He said, he realized by such hearing that I am not this body. And Lord and myself, we are transcendental and not material. See, this realization is a very, very important realization. In fact, it's a basic realization in Krishna consciousness. Basic, bare minimum. Therefore, Prabhupada keeps repeating in his classes, we are not the body, we are soul. Spirit soul. Again and again, Prabhupada keeps saying that. But somehow we become convinced after some time, I am this body and not spirit soul. Especially when we are not well, you see. Especially when something happens in the family. All these things, will go for a toss. Why? Because realization is not there. Knowledge is there. Theoretical knowledge is there. Realization is not there. But when someone hears with unflinching mood, that theory becomes realization. And for Narada Muni, it was realization. And you know what? This Krishna Katha, speaking and hearing, went on and on and on for 4 months. And Narada boy is sitting and he is hearing Krishna Katha. With that unflinching, attentive, one-pointed focus mood. And Narada Muni is saying, as the flow of my devotional service began, this story, by the way, is telling to his disciple Vyasadeva. And he says, as the flow of my devotional service began, the coverings of mode of ignorance and passion got vanished completely. When we sit in the class, or when we are doing any devotional service, why is it that after some time we get bored? Why? Like for example, say, today I am speaking this Narada Muni's topic. Next Sunday also if I come and I say, okay, so today we will hear 3 lives of Narada Muni. And maybe you all will say, oh, again next Sunday. 3 lives of Narada Muni. Haribol volume reduces. And again after that, again if I say 3 lives of Narada Muni, and then you all will look at devotees who invite people. If Barbar will invite karte hain inko, and he does not know any other topic or what, same topic again and again. Why? Because we are in ignorance, what to do? No taste, ignorance. So we cannot hear the same thing again and again. रोज कुछ नया बताइए तो भागवत में 18,000 श्लोकास है, वो एक ही बार में रिपीट करो, नया बताइए कुछ नया. Why? Because ignorance is there. Because of that ignorance, all this problem comes. And look at this, what happened. As Narada the boy, he started advancing in his bhakti, the covering of ignorance and passion was vanquished completely. And he advanced. And the next thing that happened with Narada Muni was, or Narada boy was, he became very attached to the Bhakti Vedantas. First. Second, he developed strong faith in these Bhakti Vedantas. Their words, their instructions. Third, he started following the Bhakti Vedantas with his mind and with his body. These 3 things happened with him. Strictly he started following. And you know what? In our spiritual life also, there should be at least one person whom we are attached to. One spiritual personality whom we are attached to. It's very, very important. Very, very important. Because if we are attached to at least one spiritual personality, we have some hope that when we are stuck in some critical situation, we will hear what that personality is telling us. If you're not attached to any spiritual personality and we're stuck in a very critical situation, we have decided, bas ho gaya, bhakti nahi karna hai, bahut ho gaya, I'm not doing enough. And anyone who comes and tells you anything, you will not listen because you're not attached to that person. Simple. Therefore, it's very, very important to have an attachment towards at least one spiritual personality. In the life of Narada, there were Bhakti Vedantas. In our life also, we have Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. How did Narada develop attachment to them? How? Serving, attentive hearing, inviting, the same what is taught in day-to-day life. Contemplation. You see, just for attentive hearing, he developed an attachment towards his Bhakti Vedantas. I always say this in various classes. Even in our entire Guru Parampara in the altar, we have audio recordings of only one Acharya, and that is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. How fortunate we are! How fortunate! In the previous times, it was not that Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Jagannath Das Baji Maharaj, they had some mobile and they were hearing previous Acharyas. Oh, today I hear Rupa Swami's class. And today I hear Jiva Goswami's class. But look at our fortune. Our immediate Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, his audios are recorded. That pure Vani is recorded. And guess what? There is no difference between the personality and the Vani on the spiritual platform. And when we hear that Vani attentively, we will develop attachment to Srila Prabhupada. If anyone develops attachment to Srila Prabhupada, bas, back home, back to God, and doors are open for us because he knows all the doors of Golokunda. He knows it. It so happened that there was one devotee who was haunted by a ghost or something like that. And the person who was the ghost, so he was called. And then he was able to see the ghost and all that was happening. And then this devotee is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, is chanting the Panchasattva Mantra, etc. But then nothing is happening. At that time he started chanting Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravadi Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. And the ghost left that place. And by some means, the communication was made because the ghost haunted someone else and some communication was made. But how did you leave that person? And then it was spoken by that person who was haunted by a ghost, other person, that suddenly an old man came with a stick and he said, "Get out of this place." A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki he is our Bhaktivedanta Swami. Attachment to a spiritual personality is very important. And you know what? We have seen so many devotees are so much attached to Srila Prabhupada or the spiritual master or some devotee, they're taking guidance from all the acharyas in the parampara. One of the senior devotees was saying that he met one Mataji. She is very attached to Gaur Kishore Das Baji Maharaj, Prabhupada's Guru's Guru. For her, Gaur Kishore Das Baji Maharaj is everything. So wonderful. And some devotees are very attached to Jiva Goswami, Rupa Goswami. So wonderful. So all of us, we have no option but to be attached to Srila Prabhupada. And when we develop that attachment, this will happen with us also. Where by that attachment, we'll be able to follow them, all their instructions nicely. And when we follow the instruction of an Acharya like Srila Prabhupada, we'll get completely purified and we'll break the cycle of birth and death, attaining eternal service of Krishna. This is for sure. No doubt on this. No doubt on this. And now these Narada Muni, or Narada boy, he was so attached to them. 4 months this was, 4 months. He's serving, they are speaking, he's hearing, he's developing attachment towards them. Now the attachment was so strong. But what to do, the 4 months ended. And the Bhakti Vedantas were supposed to leave. Before leaving, the Bhakti Vedantas, they gave the final instruction to Narada Muni, or Narada boy. And the instruction was about the most confidential knowledge from Bhagavad Gita. And what is the most confidential knowledge? Pure devotional service to Krishna. I'm sure you all chanted the shlokas of pure devotional service. So pure devotional service to Krishna. They told them what is the final thing that we are supposed to do. And just by hearing their instructions, Narada Muni could understand that confidential knowledge. He was able to understand the supremacy of Krishna And at the same time, he understood very clearly, just by understanding Krishna Tattvataha, one can go back to Godhead. And at that time, Bhakti Vedantas left. What it means to lose the association of devotees, only that devotee will get to know has lost it. For us, every Sunday you come, so many devotees sitting around, no tension. It's not like you're missing someone over there. So you turn here, there's a devotee. You turn there, there's a devotee. But I know some devotees, they got shifted from Bangalore to some other place. And in that place, there were no devotees. There were no devotees. And this devotee would call and he would tell me, Puri, there's no devotees here. When I was there in the association of devotees, I didn't value the association. I would not come to the Sunday feast class and associate with devotees and all that. Now look at my situation. Lord has sent me to a place like this here where there are no devotees. And then he started praying the Lord so intensely, oh Lord, job is okay, please give me association of devotees. And guess what? He was transferred back to Bangalore and again he was back in Sunday feast. I'm not named the devotee was sharing this, and he was telling me that, Prabhuji, henceforth, I'll value the association of devotees. Because I know if I don't, Krishna will send me to some place again to teach me a lesson, what it means to not have association of devotees. And I'm sure all of you might have also experienced when you go to your hometown. Have you ever experienced or not? Such a pathetic situation. No devotees, chanting number of rounds will reduce, consciousness will get dirtied. After coming back here also will start thinking, should I go to Sunday feast or not? We're so contaminated. Therefore, it's very important to value the association of devotees. At least when it comes to us, this situation is there. Imagine the situation of Prabhupada's disciple. Just imagine their situation. In Vrindavan, in that particular Kartik month, and Srila Prabhupada was there on the divine bed in Vrindavan, and he was taking his last few breaths in this material world. And he left this material world to go back to the spiritual world. Just imagine what would be the situation of all the Prabhupada disciples there. We cannot imagine. Because their life and soul was A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Their life and soul was Prabhupada. And Prabhupada left, they were clueless what to do. They were crying and weeping and they don't know. They were all, see, Prabhupada started the entire movement in 1965. 1965. When did he leave this planet? 1977. How many years he was there in this movement? Or how many years he established this movement? 12 years. It means the devotee, the first devotee who joined the mission, he was how many years old in Krishna consciousness? 12 years. Means 12 years means senior most devotee. Now, we started our bhakti in 2010. So we also spent some time like that. But even today, there are so many things I don't know in Krishna consciousness. Now just imagine they have such a difficult situation. Just to attach to Prabhupada left, you feel the pain. So much of pain. Narada Muni's situation was like that. Bhaktivedanta's left, and his situation was like that. But what to do? He had to live his life. One day there was a great tragedy that happened. Narada Muni continued his devotional service. And he was the only son of his mother. And mother bound him with love, the ties of love. And what happened is, one night, Narada Muni's mother went out to milk the cow. And when she went out, there was a venomous serpent who bit her and she died on the spot. Now Narada Muni, he just knew one lady, and that was his mummy, his motherland. Now tell me, what was the situation of Narada Muni? 5-year-old boy. What would be the situation? That one person who was there, as his family member is left, he is not there. What will be the situation? Just think about it. And what would be the thought process of such a devotee? There are so many people during COVID time, they lost all their family members. He was the only one remaining in the family. Their situation was pathetic. But you know what? Narada Muni, he started thinking. He took that particular incident as special mercy of the Lord. And he continued his spiritual journey, going out from his house, entering various forests. he took it as an opportunity and left the house. Many times this will happen. Some crisis will come and you'll be clueless. You'll be blinded. You see, whenever there's a crisis, we become blind completely. We don't understand what next. But if we just open our eyes and just watch and analyze the situation, we'll be able to find the special mercy of Krishna in that particular situation. Therefore, I always say, every crisis is an opportunity to get closer to Krishna. It only depends on the devotee. Is he opening his eyes or still closing his eyes and thinking, what next? What should I do? What should I do? Oh Lord, why did you do this to me? I was chanting my rounds every day. Why did you do this to me? No, a devotee will not think like this. If he opens his eyes and sees, yes, it's the mercy of the Lord. And trust me, anything and everything that happens in the life of a person, especially in the life of a devotee, is orchestrated by the Lord Himself. Recently, one devotee messaged me a question that if Lord is our eternal Father, then how can He see all these different things happening, the murders and the rape and this and that? How can a father see all this? And how can he be happy because he is eternally blissful? One thing that Krishna cannot do is he can never become sad. This is Satchidananda. Then how can a father be blissful like this? You know how Krishna is blissful even in that situation when his kids are suffering? Because Krishna is not seeing the suffering of the living entity. You know what is he saying? He is saying that how my kid is getting purified and now is getting closer and closer and closer to me. This is the vision of Krishna. Because actually anything that happens in this world is orchestrated by the Lord, especially for devotees. And when devotees go through something, even outsiders when they go through something, it's a means to get purified. And Krishna is saying, oh, now he was purified, more purified, more purified. And very soon he'll come back to me. And maybe Krishna is saying, Haribo, very soon he'll reach me, Haribo. But what to do? We are sitting here and we're scratching our head. Krishna, itna purification abhi nahi. Okay, I understand I want to attain in this very life, but itna zyada purification nahi. You remember I shared this. I was in Govardhan, and one temple I asked, there was a pujari. I asked the pujari, please pray for me. And at that time, that pujari asked, what should I pray for you? And immediately, the thing that came to my mouth was, please pray that I attain Krishna this very life. That pujari looked into my eyes and started asking, are you sure, Prabhu? And I was puzzled. But then this is what is my desire. So I said, yes, I'm sure. And after praying, that pujari told me, Prabhu, get ready. You asked for something very big. Purification will be very fast. Hey, बताइए, human life will purify होने के लिए ना. Let's begin purified. What is there in that? Some problem will come, suffering will come. If we take shelter of Krishna, even that problem and suffering will be very, very wonderful. Like Srila Prabhupada would say, he would say, when the cool breeze is flowing, that is the cold embrace of Krishna. And when this hot breeze that is flowing in Vrindavan, that is the warm embrace of Krishna. Both are embrace of Krishna. Just you also embrace Krishna at that time. Such a wonderful thing. And Narada Muni did this. That situation, which was so hard, he took it as an embrace of Krishna, as an opportunity to advance in Krishna consciousness. So wonderful, so very wonderful. And in this way, Narada Muni began his adventurous journey. He was traveling and traveling and traveling. He was going through villages, towns, and he went to various mountains, trekking in various different places. And he went to various forests. When he would get tired, he would touch the water, drink some water, he would feel good. Again, he would start traveling. And one day, when he was there in a forest where there was no one else except for the carnivorous animals, he sat under a banyan tree and he remembered the teachings of the Bhakti Vedantas. With his eyes closed, he started meditating on the Lord in his heart. And as soon as he started calling out to the Lord manifested on the lotus of his heart. He could get darshan, sakshat darshan of Krishna. And he was very blissful. It is described when he got sakshat darshan of Krishna, at that time every sense of his body was enlivened. Tears were flowing constantly from his eyes. He was blissful. When someone is blissful and tears come, Those are cold days, you can touch and check. There's a pro situation होता ही नहीं मेरे घर में. And here Narmani is crying these tears of ecstasy. And at one point it so happened that the darshan that he was getting, suddenly that was gone. Lord disappeared. And Narmani opened his eyes, perked up completely. Oh Lord, where are you? He's calling out to the Lord, he's praying to the Lord. Again he closed his eyes, again he tried to meditate. Lord is not appearing now. No darshan. How can we Baddha understand what it means to have darshan and lose darshan? What it means? We don't know. We don't know what is the ecstasy of getting sakshat darshan of Krishna. Just the thought itself will give so much of bliss. Sakshat darshan. But what to do? We don't know what it is. Our Goswamis, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, they would go around in the entire Vrindavan Dham and they would chant loudly, Hey Radhe, Vrajadevi Ke Chalalite, Hey Nanda Sulaputa. Oh Srimati Radharani, where are you? Oh Krishna, where are you? They all do this at home, early morning get up. Oh Krishna, oh Radharani, where are you? Where are you? Those devotees have got darshan or lost the darshan, only they will be able to do this. They are missing the Lord, Baba. They are missing. He was calling out to the Lord, he's trying his best, again closing eyes, trying his best and full focus. But he's not able to get darshan of the Lord. And at that time, a divine voice spoke. Lord himself spoke. Only voice was heard. And the divine voice said, Oh my dear boy, in this life you'll not be able to get darshan anymore. Those people who have got material taints, who are still materially contaminated, they don't get my darshan. You have to get purified more. And Narada Muni, when he heard that voice, he felt very grateful to the Lord. And he paid obeisance to the Lord. To that voice, he paid obeisance. Very, very grateful. He paid obeisance. And that voice also said that I gave you darshan and disappeared just to increase your hankering. Because when the hankering to attain the Lord increases, the material contamination is removed very fast. Very, very important point to note. When the hankering to attain the Lord increases, the material contamination is removed very fast, quickly. Therefore, we should ask this question to ourselves. What am I hankering for in this life? What is my hankering? If you are not hankering for Krishna, no problem. We should develop that hankering for Krishna by associating with those people who already have that hankering. And when we have that hankering for Krishna, yes, all that material contamination that is there, that will be removed. Therefore, it's very important to know that when we are anchoring that, oh Lord, I want to attain you, and every day your prayer is that, every day, you are intensifying your bhakti to attain Krishna, we will see this one thing happening. We will get purified every single day, contamination will be removed every single day. Please remember this point, everyone. When we hanker for anything in this material world, we get more contaminated. But when we hanker for the association of the Lord, we get purified. And guess what? Every single day we can get darshan of the Lord. How? Lord's name, form, qualities, pastimes are not different. And when we are sitting with our beads and chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If we hear attentively, we are actually getting darshan of Krishna in the form of sound vibration. And it is described that through this darshan of sound vibration, we can also experience this stage of Narada Muni, where all the senses are enlivened, we are feeling fresh. We will see this. That day when we are not chanting attentively, after we finish our round, it feels like, oh, tired. How many of you have experienced this? Slowly, I have experienced it. Yes. And that day when we have chanted very nicely, attentively, you will feel a different freshness. Yes, all of you have experienced that? Yes. This is what happens when you take darshan of the Lord through ears. Will be enlivened like this. Therefore, when we are not able to get darshan of the Lord through here, we should hanker for it. Oh Lord, when will I be able to hear your holy name attentively? Please help me, O Lord, please help me. And remember Narada's situation, that how much he is hankering. And after this, just imagine after this, what will the situation of Narada be? What would you think? What do you think that Narada did after this? What is that?
Intensified.
More intense devotional service. He continued practicing bhakti with more intensity, chanting the holy names of the Lord, glorifying the Lord, roaming around the entire planet. He was doing this very, very wonderful thing. And guess what? The final moment came in the second life of Narada boy. The final moment. And in this final moment of Narada's life, he was completely purified already. He was very much attached to the Lord and he was ready to give up the body. What is the problem? What is the pain at the time of death, The pain at the time of death is that we want to remain in this body, but we're pulled out of this body. There's a tug of war that happens. We are pulled out more. We are like, no, I want to stay in this body. And they pulled out, and then we want to stay in this body. That is the pain that the living entity experiences. And Garuda Puran says 100 scorpions biting at one time. That's huge. Huge. Therefore, when a devotee, he advances, he gets attached to Krishna, naturally he becomes detached from this world, and he becomes completely purified. And he is waiting, Krishna, when will you come, Baba? Come fast. Tukaram Maharaj, he was told by the Lord. Everyone knows Tukaram Maharaj? He's a great saint from Maharashtra, one of my favorite. He was told by the Lord, tomorrow I'm going to come to take you, get ready. How wonderful that will be, no? The Lord tells us that tomorrow I'll come to take you. Maybe some of us will say, not tomorrow. I have so much of work to do. My release is there in the office. How wonderful that will be. Tukaram Maharaj was told like this. Next day, Tukaram Maharaj, he got all the devotees and he started chanting loudly the holy names of the Lord. And the divine airplane appeared and Tukaram Maharaj looking at that, he was able to see Garuda. And he is chanting glories of the Lord sitting on Garuda. And how wonderful the Lord is looking. And he's telling everyone, don't become fearful, don't become fearful. It is our Garuda, great devotee of the Lord. Don't become fearful because his wings are very big. And he's flapping his wings, so don't become fearful. And at that time, his wife came. His wife was not a devotee. His wife came and Tukaram Maharaj said, I'm going back home. Are you coming? Let's go. He said, no, I've got so much work at home. The problem was Tukaram Maharaj every time said that I'm going to Vaikuntha. So she thought today also he's saying like that. I don't know, I'm going home. I have so much of work. The kids are waiting up to cook and do this and that. She went home. And Tukaram Maharaj, he climbed onto the airplane, the divine Vaikuntha airplane, and looking at everyone, holding his hand, he said, Ami Rato Amcha Ghari Amcha Ram Ram Yava, in Marathi he said, that I am going back home back to Godhead, please accept my humble obeisances. And in front of the eyes of some pure devotees there, they were able to see how the airplane disappeared. And Tukaram Maharaj went back home back to Godhead. Similar situation was Narada Muni, completely purified, attached to Krishna, detached from this world. And when that last point came, for ordinary people, I hope you heard the class, Journey After Death. Have you all heard? The ones who have not heard, please hear that class. It's there on the YouTube. So for everyone else who is not a pure devotee, who has not perfected his life, they have to go and meet Yamaraj. Pious, impious, both. They have to go and meet Yamaraj. But those devotees who are sincere, and those devotees who have perfected their life, they will never meet Yamaraj. And the change of body will be immediate. And you know what happened? Narada Muni, it is described, one of the devotees was describing. Narada Muni was walking. His body fell, he kept on walking. You know what does that mean? He gave up his material body and immediately he got the spiritual body. And the analogy that was given here in the Shastra, in Srimad Bhagavatam, is Lightning. When there is lightning in the sky, can you see immediately illumination also? Yeah, there is lightning, and immediately you can see the illumination as well at the same time. Correct? Simultaneous. So Bhagavatam says this was simultaneous in the life of Narada Muni, that he gave up the material body, immediately got the spiritual body. How many of you want to experience this? Others are confused. Because what is the use you are asking? हमारे life में तो होगा नहीं ऐसा कुछ. It will happen in our life also, because we have taken shelter of Prabhupada. If at all we have hopes now to go back to God in this very life to attain the same situation of Narada Muni, it's only by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Prabhupada. There is no other way. There is no other way. We are not qualified directly to take shelter of Krishna. But Gauranga has come specially to give shelter to all of us. And Prabhupada has made Gauranga accessible to all of us. It is described that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he disappeared from this world, at that time he said, Mora Senapati Bhakta, my Senapati Bhakta would come. And he would go to those different places where I couldn't go and pull back all those people and take them back home back to God. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu didn't come to Bangalore. But Prabhupada and Prabhupada's associates have come in the form of ISKCON centers. And guess what? Just by attending these satsangs and intensely practicing devotional service, lightning flash will happen in our life also. Giving up the material body, immediately getting the spiritual body. And after this, Narada Muni, Narada boy, got the third life, the eternal life, and now his name was Narada Muni. Srila Narada Muni, the great Mahajan, is one of the 12 Mahajans. He started going to different places and preaching. It is described at the end of Kalpa. It is described that he entered the body of Brahma. End of Kalpa means end of day of Brahma, when Brahma goes to sleep. So at the end of day of Brahma, he entered the Brahma's body, and everyone, including Brahma, they entered Garbhodakshaya Vishnu's body. And then the next day, then again, Brahma appeared, and from the deliberations, transcendental deliberation of the mind of Brahma appeared Narada Muni, and from that point onwards, Narada Muni is going around and preaching all over the world, holding his veena. It is described that Narada Muni took his music classes from Krishna himself. He went to Dwarka and he spoke to Krishna that I want to learn music. And this described Krishna and his principal wives taught Narada Muni various skills of music. And Krishna gifted him a veena. And therefore it is described the same prayer which we started the class with. Narada Muni bajaye veena Radhika Ramana name. Chanting the holy names of Radha and Krishna, Narada Muni goes to different places, and he goes to different places just to deliver people around. One day Srila Prabhupada was sitting, and people sitting there, and he just suddenly started laughing. And some devotees and disciples came to Prabhupada, what happened? Why are you smiling and laughing like this? He said, Narada Muni is here. The disciples were very curious. What is Narada Muni doing? Narada Muni is laughing. And the disciple asked, why Prabhupada, why Narada Muni is laughing? At that time Prabhupada said, Narada Muni is laughing because he is in ecstasy to see Mlechas and Yavanas of the West are chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. So in this way, in the life of Narada boy came Bhaktivedantas, and he became Narada Muni. And similarly in our life, we have IBC Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and we have all opportunity to get the transcendental body and go back to God. Let's utilize this opportunity and not waste it. Thank you very much. Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Narada Muni ki Jai. Any questions?